There's a difference.
I get it. But one of my coworkers threw me off guard. He asked me if I knew this Mary J. Blige song the other day, and I was like, "Oh, you know Auntie Mary?
Auntie Mary.
Stop it. It's the boots, baby. It's the boots. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. We could get in here and start it. Stop playing with me."
Hey. Hear me.
Blood, bang, bang, 300 for Jesus.
For Jesus. Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
We here again. Yes, sir. How you been?
Living good, brother.
Listen, man. Like your hair.
Oh. Welcome to another episode of The Journey's Path, where every path is a journey and every journey is a path. So, we are back with episode 4. Oh, yeah.
I remember something.
He's something. Them Spanish classes, they didn't go to waste.
Listen.
You feel me?
Listen, there was business Spanish classes. There was Spanish. As you know, as always, like, comment, subscribe, send this for a friend.
Come on, pass this along, because you helping us in this YouTube journey.
Yeah, like you're here. You might as well have somebody else here to talk about this with.
Because this is some good conversation, and you might want to just bring this conversation to your peoples and be like, yo, I heard this on The Journey's Path with Dave and Brandon, and I just wanted to talk to this because you my peoples, and I need to know.
You feel me? We could just talk about it.
We could talk about it.
You know, all right, but can we get into this shirt real quick? I like what's going on. Where you got this shirt from? I need one of those.
They don't sponsor us, so I'm not gonna really say it.
No problem. That's a nice shirt.
It's definitely a nice shirt. It is black owned. Just let it know.
Shout out to being black owned. On the theme of black owned, I got my man Carl Weathers, aka Grief Karga, who plays the Mandalorian in Star Wars. For all you Star Wars fans, you know he's one of the few black people we see in the series. And also my hat is from Virgil. You know, everyone knows Virgil. So rest in peace to him, one of the premier fashion designers for Louis Vuitton, Off-White, things like that.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And since we're on the topic of black fashion, I'm gonna give a shout out to my cousin Sharifa.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Shameless plug, Sharifa. She is high ranking. I don't remember her exact. I think she's the chief executive officer for Kith on this side of this coast.
Big time.
Big
moves.
Big things. Her closet about as big as half the rooms in my crib. But Sharifa, shout out to you. You know, like I said, just a part.
We should get her on. You should get her on the show.
I'm definitely give her a call.
We're gonna get her on the show. I feel like it's important to have people doing the thing that you want to be doing.
Yes.
And seeing that, being exposed to that, because if you're not exposed to it, then you just never know it existed.
Yes.
So you got to be exposed to these different things and be able to know that, yo, this person who looks like me, is doing the thing that I want to be doing. So,
100%.
shout out.
If you have any ideas of people that you may want to have conversations with, maybe something in your career, let us know. We may be able to find somebody.
We know
some good people.
We know some good people.
You feel me? We ain't gonna pay them, but they want to come talk.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the phrase. It's like the 6th degree of separation.
Okay.
It's like everybody knows somebody that knows somebody.
That knows somebody.
You feel me? And all it takes is hitting them up.
And see if they want to have a conversation, man.
See if they want to talk. You feel me?
So, before we kick it into this, I'm gonna give you my Black History Month fact.
Give it.
It's not a fact; it's a milestone, actually. Kai Sinet. I don't know many people know about Kai.
Yeah.
Kai is a.
He went to Mooresville, bro.
Word?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. He went a couple years after me.
After you?
But he went.
That's need to send that man a message. But that's actually what's up. The milestone I want to say is I want to give a big shout out to Kai. I watched a couple of his streams and whatnot, but I believe he is now one of 3 streamers on Twitch
200,000
to have over 200,000 followers. So that is a big achievement.
Shout out to you, brother.
Shout out. I don't let no black achievements go by. We if we don't celebrate us, nobody else will.
That's a fact.
So Kai, shout out to you. 200,000.
Keep doing your thing, brother.
You feel me? You're doing
inspirational.
Exactly.
Inspirational.
Everything that you're doing. That's my Black History Month milestone for this episode. Shout out to you. But on the last episode, you touched on a story.
Touched on the story
about something called KJenga.
KJenga.
That a lot of people may not know what we talk about when we say this. Mm-hmm. So to make it very simple, to put it in its most simplest terms, it is a youth leadership conference for New York City, for any youth in New York City who is Catholic. And not even just Catholic, because we have had people come that aren't Catholic, but it is held at a seminary. It is, primarily revolved around, activities involving the Catholic religion. But we're bringing that up again because in theme of the last episode, talking about the experience at HBCU, being black, this was the experience of having younger people around us who also was of our faith, who looked like us. So, a lot of times you may not see that because the Christianity religion is broken up in so many different pieces that, you have these people over here, these people over here. So when you really get a chance to develop with people of your color and of your mindset, it means something. Definitely. So when it comes to the KJenga experience, for you, what was that like for you?
KJenga. I remember they asked us to play drums a lot. So as you can see, these drums are back here, and yes, we do play. We don't play them often, but we play. We still play. I'm capping. But that
still pretty good.
That was a thing that was outside of us being friends. Like that's what held us together. Like we played drums. The fact that a lot of people that we are still cool with to this day. Shout out to the love of my life, Nicole. Met her there. This is interesting because it's like you said, a lot of us been able to now see other youths of our age experiencing our faith together, and having that experience made it feel more comfortable. And that's what I think the important part that we left off with in our HBCU conversation is the part feeling comfortable in the space that you're in and not feeling that, because I am melanated, I should feel like I'm not involved with what's going on around me. But now, because I'm melanated, there are other melanated people that understand and experience it in their own form of fashion. Like, I remember a lot of our elders in our church it was at KJenga, and they were prominent people that Miss Georgianne, Miss Arlene, Miss Ethel, man, rest in power, Miss Ethel, man. And just the amount of different people, Miss Marilyn, like Father Dwayne, everybody that's, then even the people that was just a little bit older than us, like Chris Graham, Courtney,
Noel,
everybody, like just seeing people that, and I wouldn't say we looked up to, but in a sense was able to have exposure to.
Yeah, let us know. It was cool. It was cool to rep Jesus at the time.
Cool to rep Jesus.
It was cool to rep that. Like it wasn't. You shouldn't have been ashamed of what you were doing.
Yeah.
So I felt that for real.
And they made it fun too. We wasn't always just. We did sit in church, and I've had a lot of. There was an experience, and after my grandmother passed away, that summer at KJenga, I really understood like being able to cry and not feel that I was weak or less than a man or less than it was a wrong emotion to have, but in feeling the presence of God, because that was definitely, it was after one of our masses, and it was just, we were all listening, we were doing praise and worship, and I just felt overwhelmed because I needed to release that.
That was Holy Hour.
Yeah, Holy Hour, yeah, exactly. And I was able to release that and had people there that comfort me and understood that, whatever you're going through is okay. Yeah, it's good. You're all right. You're around people that care about you and love you. So KJenga has always been a very proud moment for me every summer that we go. And being able to go back as a CIC was interesting. But I'll leave that for another conversation. But my brother, how was your experience with KJenga?
My experience, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun. But I feel like I looked at it as deeply as you did, but I was there for the people. I was there for the friends. I have a lot of friends that I met from KJenga. I have a friend whose baby shower I just went to a couple weeks ago. Shout out to you. Wish you nothing but health and wealth for your baby and whatnot. And like those are friends that I met them when I was 14. Like I met people when I was 14 years old. We what 27 now, about to touch 28. You know, and the people that I met at the time, I can still call them. I can still have conversations. I still, you know, I see them in the street like, yo, what's up? How you been? How you doing? So the people along the journey was definitely something that I took from it, but I also feel like the opportunity to, again, grow comfortable in my faith. Because I felt like sometimes I wasn't always comfortable telling people I was Catholic. Like, you know,
talk about it.
People would tell us, hey, you know, people are gonna challenge you, people are gonna ask you questions, they're gonna know why you do this, why do y'all do that, what's up with this, and I never really had the answer. You know, up until 8th grade, I went to a Catholic school, so I wasn't getting questioned about that. You know, but until I got to high school and got involved with a little bit more complex minds and people that understood things, that's where KJenga really started to mean a lot more, because it was the fact that I can be confident in who I was, I can speak about who I was, and I can have comparisons. You know, my bro T-Jean, he was of a different religion. I believe he was Seventh-day Adventist. And sometimes, you know, we would have conversations about what were the differences in our religion. You know, shout out to my homegirl Ellen. Like, I met a lot of people. I'm name dropping a lot of people.
But this is important. I like the fact because we are connected and everybody's journey is connected. So
this is like part of my journey that got me here. You know, shout out to my homegirl Ellen. Me and Ellen was cool in high school. I called her my twin, still my twin to this day. Hope you're doing well. And me and her used to have conversations about religion, walking to school, coming back from school. And I could say, if it wasn't for KJenga, I may not have been
as knowledgeable
or as confident to have the conversation. You know, I wasn't trying to be defensive all the time. Like, no, that's not true, that's not true. But actually having an answer and being able to bounce ideas off of each other. So, excuse me, for me, the experience of just learning and knowing that sometimes we're all going through the same things. You know, I never forget somebody has said that, you know, we're taught that every time we pass a cemetery or a church, we're supposed to make the sign of the cross, you know, say a small prayer as we're walking by. And, you know, hearing that other people were also kind of like shook to do that. Like, I don't want to do it because I want people to judge me. So I understood, like, yo, you get me. You get me, I get you.
Yeah.
So now we could talk about it, and maybe now we'll feel a little bit more comfortable, you know, doing the things that we were told to do. So comfortability is a big thing, especially when you're going through your religion, going through schooling, whatever it is, because you wanna feel comfortable enough that people understand your issue, and you're able to tell them, like, hey, I'm having this struggle. You know, just like schooling, I'm pretty sure if you had to speak to someone that was in your major and they telling you they're going through a certain class, you're like, I remember that.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I changed majors because of that, and not to switch topics a little bit, but that was because I wasn't hanging out with my classmates. I didn't get the extra, like, how did you do this work or this, and that was also on me. I could have reached out a little bit more, but it was a predominantly white school, so most of the people in that class I did have some black people in there, but I wasn't playing sports and then being in class was two different things. Like I was mostly outside of class, like I was hanging out with my teammates and going to practice, doing what we had to do, but they weren't in my major. But when I had to hang out with the people in my major, I couldn't really relate to them as much, which affected my schoolwork because I'm a community person. Like, I need to have that community. So when I did switch my major, it was easier for me I started excelling quicker because the classes were more conversational. They were more of experience. It wasn't based off of how somebody already did it, but the conversation around why that person did it or how they thought that way or why they got to that situation, which, I mean, I don't think, now looking in hindsight, I don't think computer information systems and journalism, I don't think they're different. I think they're similar in their own fashion, because even with coding, you're telling your code a story. In the same way of journalism, you're telling somebody else's story. So it's the whole same concept of, and this is only hindsight because I'm able to look back on it and reflect on it. But during that time, it was more of like I needed to have that comfortability, have that recognition, being recognized by the people around me to feel that, oh, I'm comfortable enough to say, I'm having a problem with this. How would you go through it?
And that's true. That's true. And that's part of what KJenga was. It was like, do I have this problem? How can I help? And that actually brings us into the next point that we're going to talk about, which is, in honor of Black History Month and continuing to talk about being in your blackness, what it's like and how it feels to be the black person in your job.
Man, I feel like that's a talking topic for everybody in the world.
And, we both have similar and different experiences being the black person at our job. But I'm gonna kick it off to you and I'm gonna let you start.
Yeah.
Because you get to meet people, you get to interview people, you get to go different places.
Yeah.
What is that like? What is it like knowing that you're about to go into a situation that, you're not sure how they treat black people?
It's interesting because code switching is a thing.
Yes, it is.
The conversation can't have and not say can't. Let me say this. I've learned that being me is the right thing to do. I'm not a bad person. I am very knowledgeable in my craft. I accept people for who they are. I don't judge people. So when I walk into a room, I have an open mind in who I'm about to meet. They don't have to show me who I am. I'm not expecting them to be a person.
Exactly.
Now, I don't think that's always the case when people see me, because I definitely think there's an expectation they expect from me, which I think for me as being just who I am, I like to unbunk expectations.
Like go against the status quo.
Yeah, a little bit, just to shake it up a little bit. You always gotta have that person to shake it up.
You be changing the stereotype.
Basically, and when I leave conversations, I realize some people like, wow. And I don't take it as a slight, but when people are like, I didn't expect that from you, or I usually like to hear, I didn't think about it that way. Love hearing that, because that means my perspective, it didn't change you, but it dropped the seed in your brain for you to think about it differently a little bit later. Because now it's about everybody's journey. That person came across me before they met the person they
thought you were. The image of who you were before you got to them. That,
but also so they have a different perspective when they meet another black person that looks like me.
Exactly.
They're not gonna say, "Oh, every black person acts this way," and that's the pride I take when I meet different people. Like when I meet different people, it's always a welcome, look them in the eye, handshake, or before pre-COVID, I guess it was a handshake, and it was just like also making sure that I'm here to fulfill my job. If it gets any personal in that. I know I don't have to see you again.
That's true, you don't.
Unless it's a continuous project that we working on, and at least for the next situation, we're only working for a couple hours. And that's the thing with working in the industry. It's a lot of downtime. It's a hurry up and wait business. So it's like you get there early, you set up.
And you wait.
Yeah, and then when it's time to go, you rolling. But in that time, there's a lot of downtime of either you having a conversation with a person or you just don't. Because it'd be a situation where they're busy doing what they got to do. They're handling their part of their job, and that's the thing with a team. You feel me? They're handling their position, and I'm handling my position. So now there's not always a situation where we sitting down getting to know each other, but it's more of the understanding like, yo, I'm comfortable enough to be who I am. I know what I look like, and I can look myself in the mirror and say, hey, I think you're great.
That's true.
Don't worry about that. But how do you feel now being in an office space where you see the same people day to day? You get to learn about them more and more, and their first impression of them, your first impression of them, is probably going to change by the time you finish working there, or whenever they finish working there.
100%.
But how does that experience go for you?
So I'm not gonna lie, I got my job in October? October I started, and February? So October, November, January, February. 4 months in, 3 months in? I was not interviewed by anybody black. So I got to the interview. My interviewers were my eventual supervisors and one of the higher level people in the office. And when I first walked in, I saw the building, I read the name, I saw everything, and I said, cool. It's gonna be interesting. So got to my interview, and literally, they told me in my interview that I had an Irish name.
Now, I heard the French part for Romaine too. I heard that.
Now, I've known that Brandon is an Irish name. My last name is Dingle, which is also Irish because in Ireland there's a Dingle Peninsula.
Didn't even know that.
And I've looked this up before.
Wow.
Like if I look up my family crest, there is some Irish in there. So the just like you said, the preconception of who I was might have been an Irish person.
They thought you was a white man.
So the surprise to see a 250-pound, bald-headed black man with a beard with the name Brandon Dingle would probably shook up a lot of
I ain't gonna lie, thank your parents for giving you a unethic name, I guess. An unethnic name. Because I have no problem with a Bon Kwikwi or something like that.
I have no problem with Deshaun. None of
I
used to work with kids. I've heard all the names in the book.
Needed. It's very needed.
It is. So from then I knew there was a preconception of me. But then I got there, and I was able to change that perception of, okay, this may not be the person who we thought it was, but the person that's on paper, the skills and qualities
to do the job.
That's the person you're speaking to. Like the name you may have created a whole different persona of who Brandon Dingle was and what he would look like. And I may not have been what they expected me to look like. But what you expected to hear from me by reading my resume was exactly what I gave you. So when I got in the office, and I got in during a busy season, so it wasn't that many people in the office. And at the time, I'm currently one of 3 black people in the office. At the time, it was one of 4. I believe one of the people, she moved on to another job, but I was one of 4. So my mentality going in there every day was, one, I'm not there as the primary production that this job is producing. Like the primary things that this job does, I'm not doing that. I'm doing the IT side. So part of me was making sure I was dressed every day. Like these are the mental things that weighed on me as I'm preparing for my first week, my first day, my first month. Making sure I'm put together every day. Number one, because you start to, sometimes people don't understand when you go into that, when you go into that field different from you, where you get to see different people and different vibes. I see the same people all the time.
Yeah.
And if there's nobody that looks like me, part of my mind starts to say, okay, how do they view me?
Right.
Knowing that I'm this person, knowing that I'm, they may have no stereotypes, they may have no indication, they may not care what you look like, but it's the fact of society has pressured us to feel
that you have to think
other people are judging us as we're going forth here and there. So I try to put my best foot forward every day. I walk in with what I wear. My shirts ironed, pants tailored, shoes on. Am I wearing tube socks? Nope. But I add my own flavor. I'm aware of fitted. You feel me? I think I was wearing this chain with my grandmother on it one time. My godmother on it one time. And everyone was like, they weren't like, oh my God, he looks like this. They were like, yo, that's really nice. I like it. Where'd you get it from? Stuff like that. And just the approach to the different styles of how I choose to dress is completely different. But I have realized, just slightly, most of the time I go with my shirt untucked.
Yeah.
Chilling, right? When I go with my shirt tucked in, they're like, yo, Brad, you look good today. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Oh,
I get it.
Interesting.
I get it.
Interesting.
But I like it. I got a problem with it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Like I said, it's like I said, it's the mental pressures that you put on yourself because you want to be, you don't want anyone to look at you like, oh, he's what I expected. Because that's the mental pressures of being one of the few black people in an office, or being, the only black person around that you see on a daily basis, is that eventually they're going to come up with their own visions of you, how they see you, how they view you, and you kind of always want to be on point because you want to make it to the next level. So do you think that affects your performance? Or it makes you want to excel in your performance? Not even really. Not really.
For me, it does.
I feel you, and the reason why it doesn't make me feel like I want to excel is because I feel like when I'm doing the work, it's just me and the computer, and I've been doing it for so long that when it's just me and the computer, I know what I'm doing, and when I'm done, it's like you said, code switching. I can talk to you with a smile. I can look at you and say, hey, yo, I'm done, or I need to go get help, or I need to figure this out and I'll come back to you. And I'm able to show that because I'm not gonna be timid. You know? Like, I'm gonna be confident because I study to know what this is. I put in the work to know how this computer goes inside, outward, backwards, how to flip this way, put this over here, run this program, do that, for this to work the right way.
Yeah.
So I feel confident in myself to get the job done. But nah, I don't think I felt like I was ever pressured by their presence to get the job done. You know,
I think, and it's interesting because I don't think I've always felt that, but as I gotten older, and I usually attribute this to the pressure that I place on myself, but now that we having this conversation, I understand, like, you know, it's everything's external at some point. It's like we're all sponges. Like we don't really grow up with our own full understanding of how life works. We're accepting what people are telling us, and then we're moving on from that. And those things stay with us. And I mean, I don't know where this is really coming from, but at the same time, I've realized, like, because there is a preconception of me, I have to excel. I have to be.
You have to go. You have to.
I have to. Yeah, I have to be the best that I can be.
You have to work 5 times harder. You have to work 6 times harder.
Which I think is crazy because, you know, there's people, and I mean, everybody is their own thing, but I'm not saying, I think for me, when I developed my like view of myself and the confidence that I have in myself and my looks and however I present myself, it didn't come from me having that already. It came from the fact that I did the work, like you said. Like, you already know what you're doing. You did this. You put the time in, and that's where I feel like any confidence comes from. Is like the fact that you know that I've done this and I could do this with my eyes closed,
100% with no issues.
No issues, and that confidence is now presented itself in a new fashion. Where do I continue to have the right dialect when I talk to someone, or do I hit them with a little bit of slang to just say that, hey, yes, I am black. Yes, I grew up over here, and I grew up in this household. And it's even cool because I do meet black people. And I would say one of the coolest experiences I've ever had was working on an all-black production for a black talent. Okay. Like, working with J Bud Media for Steve Harvey, his Facebook show, the second season. It was during COVID, but we filmed it at his house, and it was just like, I could probably count on my hand how many people not of color were there. And not to say that it was like a discriminatory thing, but I felt comfortable.
It was like a block party.
And it was just more of like, yo, we all here good at our craft, and we're able to still be ourselves and crack jokes. The
conversation flows different. The jokes.
We playing music, bro.
Y'all understand it. Y'all understand each other.
Yeah.
You know, and my job is more like, you know, I'm listening to Rick Ross, someone else listening to Beethoven. It's like, all right.
There's a difference.
I get it. But one of my coworkers threw me off guard. He asked me if I knew this Mary J. Blige song the other day, and I was like, "Oh, you know Auntie Mary?
Auntie Mary?
Stop it. It's the boots, ain't it? It's the boots. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. We could get in here and start it. Stop playing with me." But yeah, I think that when being black in the workplace, it's an experience. You know, and to have more black people in the office makes your job fun. Whether it's an office job, whether it's whatever job it is, you're gonna feel more comfortable around your people or the people that you can most relate to. Not saying that you can't relate to other people, but it is an experience. So, you know, if you are someone that's been like this, we hope this conversation helped you.
Like, yeah, I mean, let you know that, and that's the point of the show. Like, every journey everybody's journey is somewhat the same. We're not all uniquely different. We are different in our own sense of fashion, but I believe like if you want to find somebody else that look like you can go on the other side of the world and just look around. And there's gonna be somebody with some familiar feature of you, but they're not you, which makes you unique. However, we all breathe the same air. We all use our bodies, male and female differently. However, we are all breathing the same air. We still got our organs.
We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Come on now.
If you put your pants on 2 legs at a time, make a video. We're gonna shout you out because I want to learn how to put my pants on 2 legs at a time.
That's
if you can do that, let me know.
That's tough. That's tough.
Definitely let me know.
You might end up in the Guinness World Record for that because I ain't never seen that in my life.
Absolutely do that. But definitely, I think that before we get into the draft of this conversation. I want to close out the segment by giving the much honor needed and respect to I don't even know what to call him, besides our deacon, our homie, big
mentor,
homie, OG, mentor. Shout out to Deacon Lacey. This today makes a year since he was taken from us. Shout out to Deacon. Deacon has. I think he would be happy knowing that we're doing this.
Low Kiki always wanted us to be pastors, so
always.
This is not even too far fetched from us talking on a mic.
He wanted me to be a deacon. I'm not gonna lie, he was close to it. I thought about it a couple times because I'm not gonna lie, Deacon Al at KJenga, like they was cool.
They thought they was cool. They was about to hook. They was about to.
Listen. They was about to hook and reel me in. Here was the thing that got me by the deacon, right? If you get married before you do it, you can still be a deacon. That's what got me out. That doesn't make me think about it because I'm like, I want to have a wife. I want to have kids.
Hey, listen.
Like, you know what? Let me do that first, and I'm gonna holler at you. But I do want to definitely say thank you to Deacon. Shout out to Miss Lacey. I know she's still out there.
Yeah.
Definitely our prayers and everything are with you during this time. This time may be hard for you, so just wanted to wrap that up with a little shout out to our deacon for what he does, and we'll drop a couple favorite pictures with Deacon. And so
it's draft time.
With that being said, it's 100%.
It's draft time. It's draft time.
It's draft time, baby. This is draft number 4, and the draft we are choosing is fast food restaurants. Now, as you can see, we both have a little gusto to us. I got a little more gusto, you feel me, to me than, but listen, we working on it, all right?
This is a journey, you feel me? You never know. By episode 500, we be over here looking like...
Listen, you never know, but yeah, you ain't gonna see me on nobody's TV show with 7 boxes of pizza. I tell you, my grandmother...
that's a strange show. That's a strange show.
Yes, it is. But with the draft we are doing today is all-time fast food restaurants. You went first last time?
I did. You got it.
I'm gonna go first.
You got it, big homie.
I ain't gonna waste no time. I ain't even gonna play. I'm not even gonna joke around. Give me Wendy's #1 pick.
I knew you were gonna go there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad you went there because I'm going Chick-fil-A. Need it.
Listen, man.
The sauces, man. Top 5.
Listen. I'm glad you did that.
I'm kind of biased because I worked there at one point, and not like my pleasure, but I was doing security for the headquarters in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty wild. I ain't gonna lie. It was a good life.
That's what's up. I'm gonna go and thank you for doing that for me, by the way, because my #2 pick is Popeyes.
You know what? I got you.
Without the oil down.
Without the oil down. Damn. If you know,
watch our episodes, you know.
You know. If you know, you know. Oh man. All right, Copy. You go with Popeyes.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Zaxby's.
Okay.
Zaxby's.
Okay.
Their tenders. I don't know how they season it, but they season it right. Some black people made that recipe. We thank you.
Zaxby's.
We thank you.
Okay, if you're gonna go with Zaxby's, for #3, that's where it gets a little dicey. This is where people start to get their personal feelings and personal opinions in. But for my 3rd pick, I'm gonna go with Domino's.
They consider fast food?
I mean,
because I was thinking Chinese food. I was trying to consider if Chinese food in general is considered fast food.
I mean, I feel like if you can get it in under, like if it's made in under a certain amount of time, like if it's made in under 20 minutes, it should be fast. Like 10 minutes, 15 should be fast.
We should have cleared this up a little bit.
We might should have thought about it, you know. So we're gonna put Domino's tentative for now.
All right, we can go with that. I can live with that.
I think that it counts as because isn't pizza like fast food?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, New York technically.
Yeah, because technically, okay, technicalities, but Domino's.
Ain't nobody judging you. Ain't nobody judging you. Ain't nobody judging you.
I'm taking Domino's.
Domino's. I was just trying to clarify for my sanity. That was all. I don't know if you was thinking that, but I was thinking that.
I could be wrong. Domino's might not be fast food. You'll let us know.
All right. So Trick.
This was a little difficult.
This is difficult. I ain't gonna lie, cause I'm not gonna lie. I'm not throwing McDonald's in my top 5 at all. I'm just throwing that out there. McDonald's don't make it. They just don't. I love the business model. Love the movie. The Founder, great movie, but
they just not it.
Their food quality.
It is terrible.
It's poop, bro. The only thing I can really go for is the apple pies and the fries. But other than that, I'm gonna go Wingstop.
Wingstop?
Oh.
Shout out to Rick Ross, man. Shout out to Rick Ross. So Wingstop was your number 3 pick?
Yeah, Wingstop.
That is a good pick.
I can go with. They got different flavors, the sauces.
That is a good pick.
I'm a sauce type of guy.
I can tell.
I need the sauce. I need the sauce to hit.
The sauce gotta hit?
Gotta hit, bro.
Sauce gotta hit.
Gotta hit, bro.
Alright, so for number 4. I gotta think now. Now I really gotta think. Cause it's only certain good quality ones. Actually, you know what? I don't gotta think no more. Cause I know you probably been there, but I don't think you've been there. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Cookout.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Cookout.
Yeah.
Cookout saved my life in Virginia. $5, $10. The crushed ice with the sweets. Oh boy.
Cookout is a solid. That's a solid pick. That's a solid. That's a solid pick.
Cookout for number 4.
And I feel like the South has like the best fast food places because you don't.
Some of the good ones.
They don't got a lot of.
They really got some of the good ones.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to think right now. Who else? Whoever.
I already know my last pick gonna be controversial.
He said I'm a mess him up with this one.
I already know.
I will say. Nah, I ain't gonna go with that one.
Okay. I was waiting.
I was waiting on that one. I was trying to go. Damn bad. 4. So I said Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you got Chick-fil-A up there.
And I said Zaxby's.
Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's.
Wingstop.
You get Wingstop, yes.
Dang.
Yeah, it's getting dicey.
I'm about to fold on this 4th? Nah, I'm not folding on this 4th. Who is this 4th one for me, though?
You already excluded McDonald's, so.
Yeah, I'm definitely not picking him. I'm not going back.
He's not going back on his word.
Definitely. And you already picked Wendy's?
I did. Wendy's is number 1. Number 1.
I'm only taking the Jamaican KFC, though.
Jamaica's KFC?
A Caribbean KFC. I can't take an American KFC, but I'd take a Caribbean KFC.
Okay. Caribbean KFC for number 4?
Like a little, segment. So KFC, Caribbean
KFC. Okay.
They season a little bit better. I don't know what they be doing different, but they season better.
I want y'all to be prepared for my next pick. And I want y'all to understand when I make this pick. Because when I make this pick, I don't care about the backlash. I don't care about what y'all are going to say in the comments. I don't care about what y'all are going to say to me personally after I make this pick. Because I'm making this pick because I've had their food before. And I am admitting to having their food.
Preach, huh?
So think what you think of me, and I don't care. My 5th pick is Arby's.
Arby's, okay.
Arby's.
All right, okay. You the one keeping them in business? Cause yo, bro, who goes to Arby's, bro? What?
Oh, listen.
You said I made $100,000, but I'm looking at you different. This
I gave the disclaimer. I don't care how y'all gonna look at me after I made that pick. Yes, I'm locking in my 5th pick at Arby's. Yes, I'm not gonna forget. It was sophomore year. One of my men said, "Yo, I'm going to Arby's. I'm going to get a big Buford."
A big come on, with a name like that.
I didn't care. I didn't care. I'm like, yo, bro, make it two. I want to see what's up. The big Buford was popping. I got it one day. I promise you, I was in Virginia. I was eating good. Everything was good money. I think it was either right before we got on the bridge or right after we got off the bridge. It was an Arby's. I was hungry. I said, we stopping. I stopped. I went in. I got me my meal, and I was out. I've had Arby's 3 times in my life, but I'm making it my number 5 pick. Okay. Like I said, I don't care how you feel.
Fair. As you should.
All right.
You shouldn't care. Shouldn't care at all.
I'm not.
You don't. Not one bit.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
All right, copy. So I think, and it's, I don't know if this really considers as fast food, but to me, I think they do. Golden Crust. They're a chain. They're a franchise. There's literally a Golden Crust everywhere, bro.
There is a Golden Crust
So
everywhere.
for my Caribbean people, that's my pick.
Yeah. Even if you want some basic rice and oxtail, you go to Golden Crust.
And it hit different. Every place is a little bit different.
Just a little bit.
They're a little bit different.
A little bit different.
A New York Golden Crust.
Depending on where it is, it might be all right.
Come on, you gotta pick your location smartly.
This was the joke, right? Golden Crust is the Sean Paul of restaurants.
And there's no slight on Sean Paul at all.
Paul got some bangers.
Hits.
Bangers.
And you feel me?
But they hit or miss.
They hit or miss.
They hit or miss.
And now, like you said, every location ain't a hit. Mm-hmm. You gotta find yours.
And
rock with it. Go.
Yo, Arby's.
Make sure you take that trip.
Listen, I do want to give an honorable mention to 2 things.
Okay.
Subway cookies.
Oh, I was about to say Subways.
Only warmed up though.
Okay.
And McDonald's breakfast.
All right. You feel me? That's the only way I would consider McDonald's. But I was definitely gonna say Subways because I definitely ate a lot of Subways during my college. Like, there's always a Subway somewhere, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Can't go wrong with Subways,
100%, man. But I think that does it for episode 4.
Best not forget, you better subscribe.
Oh.
Best not forget, you better subscribe.
Listen here.
Subscribe to the channel.
Listen here, y'all. I work in IT. I'm going to run the statistics of who watches our videos and subscribes.
Because you know YouTube tell us.
They gonna tell us.
They know they tell us.
And you know, if I want to go deeper into the analytics, I can find out what your username is. I'm gonna ask you why you watch it, but you're not subscribed.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You helping us out.
Yeah.
If we added some value, if you got a laugh, you gotta hit the subscribe button. And a like.
Come on now.
If you got some value, you better share this with somebody.
If you eat Arby's, you definitely got to share it with somebody.
Oh God.
And don't lie and say you never had Arby's in your life because you have. I keep saying I don't care how y'all feel. When I go back to Arby's.
I'm just saying somebody keep an Arby in business and they really doing well. That's what I'm saying because their commercials are still out there. They got money for ads, so somebody paying their bills.
100%.
Somebody paying their bills. Hey man.
But listen, man, that was episode 4. We're gonna wrap this up.
We love you.
Of course, number love, bro. We're gonna be back for episode 5, of course.
Yes, sir.
All right, now, y'all be safe.
Peace.
All right.